Hey, it's your boy Nathan Galan, aka Nate Motivates, educator, barber, influencer, business owner, and I'm here with Young's in Yacht Club.
Youngest in the Yacht Club. I'm Vince Serrano. Today we got a real special guest, man. He's a barber. He's an influencer. He's an educator. He's also a business owner with that entrepreneur spirit. Yo, Nathan Galan. What up, Nate Motivates, man?
What's up, Vince, man?
Good,
What's up, man?
Good to see you, man.
Man, pleasure, man. Thank you for all those nice things, man.
Yeah, man. I should do your intro, dog.
Yeah?
And here, waiting.
Facts.
Yeah, nah, for real, man. Like, you've done a lot of things. I'm seeing you going all over the country, man. Like, tell the people, man. We always ask somebody. The first question is always the big one, man. Who is Nathan Galan?
Oh, I mean, that could be a complex question, man. But who is Nathan Galan? Nathan Galan is one of five children raised by his grandmother. You know, 4 boys, 1 girl, second oldest. Dad wasn't in the picture. You know, mom was just married to the streets at that time. So who is Nathan Galan? You got to go back there first to truly understand who I am. You know what I mean? Because a lot of who I am now stems from who I came from. You know what I mean? How and what I came from. So,
Amen to that.
For me, just, you know, if I had to sum it all up before getting on to the whole story, is Nathan Galan's an overcomer. Nathan Galan's a grinder. He's a person that, you know, always, you know, almost plays with his back against the wall because he comes from nothing. Yeah. And he never forgets that.
Amen to that, bro. That's a lot. That's deep, bro. And that's good that, you know, you realize, like, yo, what you are who you are because of the experiences you had, man. A lot of people shy away from that, dog.
Nah, man, one thing I had to learn early on, man, especially as my young adulthood, is that, you know, there's pain in your story. You know what I mean? But it also could be glory in your story. You know what I mean? You don't know who can benefit from your mess. Your mess could become your message. All those tests that you had in your life should be your testimony. And so for me, it was just one of those things that once I lost, you know, we're human. You know what I mean? So we have the shame, we have the guilt, you know what I mean, of, you know, whatever we went through or whatever we may have gone through. But for me, it's one of those things that I just use that as my fuel to why I go so hard.
Amen to that, bro. And if anybody knows that, it's me, dog. Because I was many things, a lot of different things, man. And now, you know, look at that. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for those things, dog. So I like that, dog. Your mess could be your message.
Yeah, facts.
Those tests could be your testimony. Oh, those are bars, dog. Hey, that's crazy. That's dope. Dog, how did you get, so what, you know, my biggest thing is, so you told us kind of about your upbringing, right? Where did the story of Nathan Galan come from? Like, what changed? What changed? Why didn't you become just another statistic?
Huge shout out to my, you know, she the reason, Maria Quinones, man. That's my grandmother. My grandmother took in 5 kids, you know, her grandkids, which was us, and she raised us by herself. You know what I mean? You know, government assistant, whatever she had to do, man, to feed us, clothe us. For me, that's where it comes from. You know what I mean? So the turning point for me was the fact to see what she had to do and how she provided, even though she knew she didn't have it. You know what I mean? She found a way. And so for me, that was always been my driving force, is always to make her proud. And so for me, I wanted to go to college. You know what I mean? I come from a Latino background. I'm Puerto Rican, ya tú sabes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, we come from a Puerto Rican household, and I want to make her proud. So I wanted to be the first person in my family to go to college. You know what I mean? So luckily for me, I had an outlet, man. I played football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was blessed. I got a college scholarship, you know, full ride, East Illinois University.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Graduated, got my bachelor's degree, you know, in education, and came back home and wanted to put it to work. You know what I mean? So for me, that's where what motivated me to make more of myself was my grandma. You know what I mean?
Fire. And bro, like that's dope, because you realized, like, the catalyst that to actually change it was being somebody who stepped up and kind of provided that stability for you, man. We got a similar story. My grandmother raised me too. I'm not trying to take your story, dog, and shout out to mama. You already know, but like, you know, yeah, you know, like I feel, to me, this is the same thing. It's like, yo, my grandmother, my mom wasn't around, my dad wasn't around. My mom was around to a certain extent, and then I was like, nah. And then my dad was in DR, so had to grow up. I didn't meet him till I was 14. Actually find out he was actually somebody else.
Oh, wow.
I thought my dad was somebody else.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, and so
it's spooky. We got too much of a
right.
story.
You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people don't know that, dog. Like my last name is really supposed to be Ujoa. It's Vince Serrano, and I didn't know that until I was 14. So, like, telling the same things. Like, none of my family, like, my dad was a hustler. My mom was, somebody trying to make it, single parent, 2 kids. And then, dog, not taking any of the flames. Like, I wanted to go to college, and they wasn't paying for it.
Yeah.
So I had to find a way to get there.
Yeah.
And it was either academics and sports. And it ended up being both, which was great, just because, my grandmother took me in, and she was like, look, I'm not going to bother you. You're going to have a real good life as long as you keep these grades up.
Yeah. Yo, that's one thing. Them white guys don't play about them grades, boy. They don't play about them grades,
bro. So that to me, she's like, but if you don't, your life's going to be hell.
Yeah.
You going to want to go back in them streets. And I was like, nah, because she provided that stability, dog. And I just knew it only took one time for my grandmother to slap me one time for me to realize, all right, she's not playing. And I'm not saying that she was a dictator. I'm not saying that. It's just that's my mom. Like, you listen.
It hit different. It hit different.
It hurt my feelings.
The hit different. Yeah, facts. Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't want to ever let her down because I knew, like you said, the sacrifices she was making. So that kind of forced me to go above and beyond what I normally would have done.
Nah, all day. Bro, and when you say similar story, to dig a little bit deeper into my childhood story, my dad bounced when I was around 2 years old. And, him and mom didn't work out. So I actually grew up thinking my stepdad, which was my 2 younger brothers' dad, was my father.
Wow.
For a while.
Wow.
And then I found out that he wasn't, and it was all good, whatever.
Yeah.
And so on. And then, fast forward, literally the summer. So my dad, he remarried, and, he lived in Illinois. And little did I know, the summer that we actually were going to give him another chance. Because, we grew up, a little calloused heart.
Yeah.
We feel as though that he left us. But as you grow up and, as adults now, we realize that there's always 2 sides. There's 3 sides of the story, man. There's their side, there's their side, and, God's side. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, once I finally got the whole story, it's like, we were about 15, 16 years old, me and my older brother, and we were about to give him another chance.
Yeah.
And we were planning to go up there during the summer, and, R.I.P., my father ended up passing away.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? A drunk driver hit him on his motorcycle.
Wow.
And that was just a wake-up call. You know what I mean? It was a wake-up call that, you shouldn't hold grudges. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that I don't hold no pain about holding a grudge to him. I just, I was young, man. I was 15 years old, you know what I mean? So, but looking back on it now, it's like one of those things that, there's no time for grudges. There's no time for pettiness. You know what I mean? You just never know. You know what I mean?
Life is short.
Life could be very short. You know what I mean? So, man.
The situations, man, those things that happen, man. But it's good that, the good thing about, and there's no, the good thing that you learned about that whole situation out of that is that lesson, man.
Yeah.
And you learned it early to realize that your time is the most important thing and it's limited. It expires one day, and to be able to hit that, bro. So, dog, your story's crazy. You went to college.
Yep.
Played football. Wide receiver.
No, not at all.
No,
I mean, look like one now.
Okay.
No, I used to play defensive end, man. I played defensive end. I used to be like 260 something, man. I'm like 230 something now.
I feel like look, quick question, dog. Those defensive ends be looking like wideouts, though. Like they're fat.
Or vice versa nowadays.
Right, AJ Brown could be lined up against Michael Parsons. Like,
bro, think about it. LeBron James played wide receiver.
There you go.
In high school, and was getting recruited to play in college. You know? So,
and safety.
Man, it's different, man. These kids nowadays is different, man.
Yeah.
I got ninth graders that look like they're supposed to be grown men.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? So
it's good that you see that, man. It's good that you made it. So where you wanted to put your degree to work? Where'd that take you?
So I put my degree to work. I actually was a school teacher. I taught in the school system, the public school system, for 4 years. I actually did 2 years in public school systems and 2 in private.
Fire. And
what ended up happening was, I was a full-time PE teacher. What I wanted to do, my ultimate goal was to be a high school football coach. That's what was my goal. I wanted to come back and teach kids that were less fortunate with me.
For sure.
Because I didn't grow up with a dad. I went to a private school that allowed me to, most of my tuition be paid for because my grandma had food stamps.
Yeah. Which is thank goodness.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. It provided me the opportunity to get an opportunity. You know what I mean? So,
but it's crazy because it shouldn't be like that.
No. Well, now they changed it. They changed it now. So now they just passed it this year that anybody can apply for a grant to go to a private school now.
That's fine.
Whereas before it was really income based.
Right.
Fortunate enough for me, I just knew somebody that let me know about it, and then I was the first in my family. Then my brother and my sister took advantage of it.
Congrats.
And we got private school education off of it. So, I wanted to come back and do that in the community. So I did 2 years in public school while coaching. I coached at my alma mater, now called Victory Christian Academy. I coached there for 2 years as an assistant coach. Thought I was going to get the whole head coaching job there, and then they went a different direction.
Yeah.
But I had made such an impact there that someone put my name in the hat for a head coaching job out here in Tampa.
Oh, wow.
And so I never had lived I'm from Lakeland. I'm from Polk County. Okay. You know what I mean? So 45 minutes away. I didn't get a car until I was 18.
Wow.
And that's because someone bought it for me. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
So I didn't get to venture out too much.
Yeah.
And so someone put my name in the hat for a head coaching job out here in Tampa. I was the third candidate.
Wow.
So I get called. I'm doing a camp in New York. I get called. I interview. I end up getting the job here at Citrus Park Christian School.
Wow.
I was the youngest head football coach in 2013 in the entire state of Florida. I was only 25 years old.
Wow. Congrats,
dog. Man, it was dope, man. Yeah.
Hey, talk to these kids, man. Like, and you teaching them, man. You relate to them.
What was dope is, everybody asked me, was it hard? It wasn't hard. The kids was the easiest part. For me, it was like I was borrowing people's kids and sending them back home. Because for me, I didn't have no kids. So fun. Yeah, absolutely, man. I was able to be their coach. I was able to be their mentor. You know what I mean? Without having the stress of being a parent either. You know what I mean? So, just being honest. Yeah, just learning through people, learning experiences.
That's fine.
And, loved what I did, started that coaching job, but, life has a way of humbling you. I wasn't full of myself. I wasn't really out here, doing too much, but I moved to Tampa on a whim.
Yeah.
And 4 games into my season, I won my first game.
Wow.
On a Friday night.
Congrats.
I went to go, thank you. I went to go celebrate on the Saturday night. I got introduced to Whiskey North. Didn't know what that was. Got introduced to some Blue Long Islands. Had a few too many. Went home. And on my way home, pulled over. Knowingly knowing that I was drunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even made a phone call to let someone know where I was at because, hey, listen, I'm tipsy. I'm going to just pull over. I'm going to try to sleep this off and then go home when I could drive again. 2 hours into my sleep, man, I got, a tap at the window and a cop on this side, a cop on this side, and 4 police cars behind me. And, it made me get out the car. I got a non-moving DUI.
Wow.
Got a non-moving DUI. It ran on the news the next day on a Sunday and lost my job Monday.
Wow. That life humbling you moment, dog. And not just that, you do all the right things, bro.
You think so? You play it by the book. I really had never got into no legal trouble up to that point. I'm blessed. I do come from very humble beginnings. I do come from the hood, but I never had to do hood things.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to say that either.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're not supposed to.
No, absolutely not.
The right route.
Some people want to crucify you if you're not out here, banging or whatever like that. Well, for me, it was like my people around me, my circle knew around me. And, shout out to my boy Marcus. You know what I mean? Shout out to, Rashard Coleman. But those type of guys knew that I wanted different. So although, we may have not been on the same path as far as ambition-wise, they were willing to protect whatever, you know what I mean? And if you come from these type of limits, you know that. You already know the person that, he can't come with us on this one. He trying to go a different direction.
Right.
So
yeah,
it was a blessing, man. But that day with the DUI was the worst, best day of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I lost my job, but it's lit a fire in me, dude. Like, that's where the entrepreneurial fire came from.
Another learning moment, right? Another teaching moment. What could you learn from this whole situation? Yep. What'd you learn, bro?
Man, the biggest lesson I learned in that whole process, man, I take a deep breath on that one because there's so many that came from it, man. But the biggest thing is that, what you think a downfall is maybe God promoting you.
That's fine. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that message.
Hey, man, swear on everything, man. I'm a man of faith. You know what I mean? Not ashamed to say,
God's
everything come from above.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just one of those, I get goosebumps even talking about it, bro, because it's like, it's real deal, man. I didn't know. Man, I'm straight up. But it's one of those things that I didn't understand it then. I fell into like a 2-week depression. Mind you, like I said, I'm 25 at the time. You know what I mean? And here I am meeting the goal that I set for years ago. You want to talk about manifestation.
Yeah.
But anybody asked me what I wanted to be, I wanted to be a high school head coach. That's what I wanted to be. And so to accomplish that and then lose it, and what you feel as though like, you messed up, but I was pulled over, I was sleeping in my car, I was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It was no empathy for that, but it was for a reason. You know what I mean? God was showing me that, listen, man, hold up. You think you was in control. I'm in control. Let me go ahead and just propel you into your purpose. You know what I mean? I didn't understand that, man. But now, 35 years old now, 10 years later, man, I'm so happy that happened to me a decade ago. Damn, I didn't realize it's a decade ago now, bro.
10-year anniversary.
Bro, crazy. Crazy. As I'm talking to you right now. It just hit me.
Oh, snap.
10 years ago, bro.
A dime piece ago. Now, you, back then, losing it all.
Yeah.
Hitting the ground.
Bro, car repoed. And no one knew this either, bro. And here's the crazy thing. Like, I was that pride child in the family. You know what I mean? I was the one that, be like him. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't say that to gloat. I say that on the aspect, like, I feel as though everybody's family has one of those people.
They looked up to you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So for me to fall like
example.
that and to purposely not become a statistic, I come from a family of hustlers, you know what I mean? So the system wasn't something that we weren't used to, you know what I mean? But for me, I knew that wasn't the standard for me. I didn't want that.
Right.
For me to slip like that, it was one of those things that, man, it rocked my world, but only like I said, it put me in the right trajectory, man, because I still went back to teach. I picked coaching on the hold from that time because I wanted to recreate my character in a sense.
Yeah.
Because I got offers from public schools right away. I mean, Chamberlain, Wharton. I had defensive coordinator position offers already to go ahead and continue my career. Yeah. But for me, it was more of, sit down real quick, man. You know what I mean? Sit down real quick. Shout out to my family. They came and supported me during that depression. And, I never even knew what depression was until that point. You know what I mean? But once I snapped out of it, God put me in some humbling jobs, bro. I had to go work at Publix warehouse, working a night shift, 4 p.m. It's the reason why they call it the graveyard shift, my boy. Mm-hmm. That thing, it kills you slowly.
1,000.
You know what I mean? So I'm working 4 p.m. to, 4 a.m., you know what I mean? 5 days a week. You know what I mean? It just wasn't life, but it was like God showing me, like, bro, listen, man, you had it good. You took it for granted for a pleasure, for a night of fun. You know what I mean? And so once I did all these odd jobs, I got back into teaching for 2 more years and just kind of started my entrepreneurial journey. That's when I found network marketing. You know what I mean? And network marketing was kind of the thing that kind of started molding me because I already had it in me as far as, being a coach and being a speaker and things like that. But, all right, which direction was I going to take it? And I didn't know where I was going to take it, man. You know what I mean? I thought head coach was going to be it. But when that got took, all right, what you going to do now? So got in network marketing and was part of that company for about 10 years. Did very well with it, man. Made 6 figures in that company. Got paid for vehicles through that company. But more importantly, that's when I got introduced to personal development. I didn't know what the heck a personal development book was.
Yeah. You're just out here living.
Living. This, shout out to my grandma. She raised us in the church.
Learning from the leaders, the Bible.
You know what I mean? But growing up now, understanding every personal development book is derived from the Bible in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? But I started diving into this, and so I started going to like 4 personal development seminars a year because the network marketing company I was involved in provided those.
Yeah, they were giving you classes.
So while people were buying tickets to go see Drake, I was buying tickets to go better myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so year after year, just getting better. You know what I mean?
Investing in yourself.
You got to unlearn certain things, man. You know what I mean? We've been programmed to lose, baby. You know what I mean? Especially if you come from humble beginnings. You know what I mean? Yeah. You think you disqualify yourself. You know what I mean? On a lot of things that you just don't know.
Amen to that, bro.
That you just don't know, man. So it's what it did for me, man. I mean, like I said, it's a long-winded answer to a short question, man. But we're talking about 10 years of growth here. You know what I mean? We're talking about 10 years of really reflecting on that day. Because if for not that day, I won't be where I am now. And I'm not saying I've made it, but I damn sure wouldn't have had the life that I have right now if I had been still in that teaching career.
Yeah, amen to that. Your younger self would be proud of where you at right now.
Absolutely.
That's fire.
Absolutely, man.
That's fire. Well, dog, so look, man, all right, let's jump right into it. How'd you get into barbering?
Whew. See, God's plan. So, God's plan, bro. It's crazy, bro. Hey, shout out to my boy Vincent, the youngest in the Yacht Club, man. He got these questions coming in right on time. So, how did I get introduced to barbering? So, my grandma raising 4 boys and 1 girl.
Okay. We need cuts.
She told my son she ain't paying for no more haircuts. One of y'all got to learn. Straight up. Mira, she came in, mira, yo no voy a pagar pero ningún recorte.
She just dropped a 50-piece.
No, but you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of bread for us.
The tip, dude.
Come on, man. Come on. So
yeah,
one of us had to learn. So I picked up the clippers. My uncle, he was in the streets, but he also learned how to cut. So just watching him, man. You know what I mean? So I wasn't nice with it, man. I'm just doing nice lineups and little tapers, little fades on my brothers. You know what I mean?
I see you fresh though.
Yeah, this is years later. This is years later. Facts. So no, that's how I picked up the clippers. But how did I get into the actual profession?
Yeah.
I always did it like a side thing, you know what I mean, for my boys, my partners, that would allow me to grow with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out to Jobby, Roscoe. These guys, you know what I mean, just were faithful to me, you know what I mean?
Amen.
Even through the messes of lineups.
Yeah, we're going to tag them in this page.
Absolutely. We got so love to them, man, because, without them, I won't be where I'm at now.
Amen
but I always did it as a side hustle. I never respected the industry. I never knew someone that treated barbering as a business. It was always treated as a hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You come, guys at the barbershop, they smelling like weed where I come from. They ain't treating it like a business. But when I moved to Tampa, I had to find a new barber. You know what I mean? I had to find a new barber because I'm in a new city.
Yeah.
I got referred because I was in that network marketing company. I got referred through someone to a guy named Chris Bazio. And Chris Bazio was, 25 years old, already owned 2 barber shops, and he owned a house. And he was a Latino like me. So I'm like, hold on, man. I never met no one like him. For real. Like,
yeah. All these things.
It was like, hold on. And then his conversation. My boy had books on his station. The way the shop was ran, it was, you had the typical barbershop where he likes to say is like, he takes the modern day barbershop, add our swag to it, but keeping it professional. Adding the modernness to a professional setting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amen to that. So he's running like a business.
Yeah, so, we're listening to hip hop, but it's clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the guys are talking, but they're not talking vulgar. You know what I mean?
Right.
You see white, black,
it's
Indian.
a safe space.
Safe space, diversified. And here I am, the client, and I'm getting to see it on the client end. And I'm like, man, this is dope. I've never been nowhere like this. I'm like, okay. And he owned 2 of them at that time. And so I rocked with him for my first couple of years out here, about 3 years worth of just being his client.
Yeah.
Of when I was teaching.
Fire.
But throughout that process, I'm watching him. So he goes from not being a nobody, because being who he is now, but no one really knew of him.
Right.
To fast forward, the man opened 6 shops in the span of me being sitting in his chair 3 years. He went from me just knowing him to open a YouTube channel and becoming a top educator in the barber space because of his YouTube channel.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm watching all of this, you know what I mean? And as his client, he invented like a shave gel. And I remember him formulating it and like, hey, yo, Nate, how that smell? Hey, as his client. And so fast forward, now I'm like, hold up. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, bro, but I'm in the drawer. You follow what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the drawer.
Yeah.
I'm noticing all this, and I'm like, hold on. I get to a point in my teaching career because I never looked into the pay of teaching. I got into it because of my passion.
Yeah, you just
to help.
Right.
But sometimes you got to reanalyze yourself as an adult. Sometimes your dreams are where your bank account, and sometimes you got to make some executive decisions about your life. So it got to a point at 4 years into my teaching career, I finally did the math. I would have had to work 20 years in the school system to make $62,000 a year.
That's crazy.
Mind you, this is 4 years into the industry.
Yeah, so you've already got a 50-cent rate.
I done spent 4 years in college. Well, 5 because I had an extra year. I graduated in 4, but I had an extra year eligibility, so I spent 5 years in college.
Yeah.
4 years 9 years of my life, G. And I'm only at 37.5, and I was a head coach.
And you was a head coach.
But 20 years of that, and I've only been at 62.
Yeah, you'd have been.
So the math wasn't mathing. You know what I mean? To be real with you, so no one could take my degree from me. So I was like, all right, I'm watching him do it. I was like, yo, what I got? And plus, he was putting the birdies in my ear because he knew I cut on the side a little bit. Through conversation, he's like, Nate, why don't you get your license? And again, straight up answer, I didn't respect the industry because I never seen no one do it. But after years of watching him do it, I'm like, hold on, man, he knows something.
Yeah,
and he's duplicating it.
And it's more than just cutting hair.
So I asked him what to do, and I got a point in my life. I went and chased the money first. So when I got out of teaching, I went into sales. I was selling for Bright House. Remember Bright House? Yeah. So I did Bright House before it became Spectrum.
Yeah.
Bro, I was working 4 p.m. to 1 a.m., Monday through Friday, but I made $40K in 3.5 months.
Yeah,
and
that's salary.
It's easy money. But that's when God showed me money ain't always the answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First I was asking God, give me money. He gave me the money, and
And then you realized I
was empty.
Yeah.
I was working Monday through Friday. Saturday I was catching up for all the sleep I didn't get during the week because, you get out at 1 a.m., you're not going to sleep right away.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So Sunday I'm dreading is Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that right there just got old, and I saved up my bread, and then I went to barber school. He told me to go get my license, got my license, and the day I passed my test is the day I started one of his shops.
Yeah.
And it's been over since. It's been up since, man.
Okay. So you learn about entrepreneurship. You got into personal development.
Yep.
How did you end up mixing the two and becoming where you're at now, the influencer? Like, how did that?
Man, it's crazy because, when you walk into your purpose, man, God starts opening doors that you didn't even knock on, man.
Right.
To be real with you. Like, coming into this industry, I just wanted to cut hair. Because I saw the life that it was providing for people. You know what I mean? I wasn't money driven, but I was goal oriented. You know what I mean? And so for me, I just saw the lifestyle that it was providing for a lot of the guys, especially Chris. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just humble myself, because what a lot of people don't know is because of that DUI and me being hard-headed, I actually drove for 3 years without no license.
Oh, yo.
Because of the fines and all this stuff that I had to do. And, you know, me being young, dumb, and being mad at the system. I was mad at them for so long.
Yeah.
It's y'all fault. You know what I mean? I was not moving. Like, I held this bitterness in my heart that I didn't shake. I was being hard-headed, bro.
Yeah.
After 3 years of driving without a license, I got caught. So they took my license for another 3 years.
Damn.
So I'm now, not only did they take my license, they hit me with one like, hey, listen, they took my license. I had to serve a 30-day bid. And mind you, this is in the beginning of my barber career.
You went to jail because of your license?
Yeah, bro. So I got pulled over again. And when I got pulled over, I didn't have my license because I didn't pay all the fines and stuff.
Right.
And it wasn't just fines, it was classes, all this other stuff. And when I didn't pay it, they was going to charge me with another DUI because they asked me to blow again. It was because it was late night. They ran my tag, so I had a history in it.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, being at that time, I did have a drink, but I wasn't intoxicated by no man. I literally had a drink.
Right.
But because of what I went through prior, they was like, never blow. They was like, nah, man. I was like, no, I'm not blowing. Well, man, they fought me on this one. I fought that case for about a year and a day on that case because they wanted to charge me with a second DUI because I refused to blow.
Wow.
And so if you don't know how that rules goes, man, second DUI is...
You lose your license for 10 years.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I fought it to the end. I end up beating the charge, but got all the consequences of the charge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You still have to go through the thing, but it's not a DUI on your record.
Reckless driving, but I had to do everything as if I got a second DUI, bro. Yeah. So that was 100 community service hours. That was a probation for a year. That was community service, like I said prior. That was going to AA. Bro, I had to go to AA classes, bro. AA, my name is, all that. And it's like, and I'm not here to make fun of it.
No, but you going through these things, these hardships, and you're like, yo, what is going on?
Mind you now, this is in the beginning of my barbering career. Right. I had to move to a whole new part of Tampa. Bro, I never knew what Lutz was.
Yeah.
I didn't land of the lakes. Where's this at? So, but it was opportunity. I moved for opportunity,
right.
Man. So, you know,
but you out there, you got this tag on you.
Yeah.
And when they run your plate, you got this tag on you.
So, you know, I get charged with that. And that was like the other smack that guy was like, okay, you didn't learn the first time? Don't worry, I got you this time. And so 30 days in Orient, man. You know what I mean? 30 days in Orient it felt like a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yo.
One day feels like.
All that reflection and all that, like, man, look what I have. But lucky enough, I did have barbering. And what I did was I told the owners what was going on. You know what I mean? I let them know what was up. They were very understanding. And so I saved up my bread before I got in there, and I got an apartment right down the street from the barbershop because I knew coming out I was going to go 3 years without a license.
Yeah.
So I had to position myself to be within walking distance to my hustle, to my provider, you feel me, of my job.
You had to get after.
And so that's what I did, man. As soon as I got released, I literally had the keys to my new apartment, got released, went to my new apartment, and that's where it began. I literally walked to work for 3 years in the barber industry, you know what I mean, to and from work, and just built it up. So how did I get into the whole motivating side? Because I felt like I had a story to tell. You know what I mean? The more I got out here, the more exposure I got. I knew I never knew of the barber expo side of this life. You know what I mean? All I knew was the behind the chair money. I didn't know the other ways you could leverage barbering. And so it wasn't until I went to this barber show called Orlando Premiere. Chris invited me. I wasn't going to go because Hustler.
I need to work.
All y'all leaving? All y'all going to that show? Oh, bet. I'm staying. I'm going to call all y'all clients. Not understanding. My boy came in there. You know when one of your partners say something to you and they low-key try you, but they're not trying you disrespectfully. There's like, my boy coming in like, yo, you going this weekend, right? I'm like, nah, I ain't going. I'm working. Like, you ain't going. Mind you, this is the guy that, low-key, the reason why I got into barbering, and he's telling me to go to something.
And you say, nah.
So, because he tried me like that, I went and got my ticket, and I showed up.
Yeah, you not going?
Yeah, facts.
You about to miss this.
So I went to that show, man. It changed everything for me. Going to that show changed everything.
It was a new experience.
Bro, it just made me realize that I can literally, there's so many ways out here to diversify and just be naturally who you are. You know what I mean? I felt like in teaching sometimes I was still myself, but I had to succumb to, you know, uphold a certain standard because I was a male, I was a Latino, you know what I mean, in this profession that's not what you see a lot of, you know what I mean? Whereas in the barbering, yes, they had like a negative outlook on the most part of, you know, that's ghetto or maybe depending on how you conduct yourself. But then I also saw the other side of people that actually treat it like a business. I got attracted to that. You know what I mean? Still being who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where you realize it's the entrepreneurship. Yeah. You could be cool being you.
Facts. And that's the beauty. So how did I get into motivating is I started going to shows and I was a servant, man. I just served. My guy has a brand Shout out Tune 45. You know, that's who I'm an educator for. Tune 45 is a brand that started with that shave gel I told you about.
Yeah.
So that shave gel, look how God works, bro.
Yeah.
I was, man, goosebumps, bro, because I remember when it was formulated.
Yeah.
Here I am now. I'm sponsored by that brand now.
That's fire.
You know what I mean? Which is my partners.
Yeah, which is your people.
You know what I mean? And it's worldwide.
It's not some brand deal that you saw the development. You was there.
No, man.
And then you got into this industry, like.
And they gave me a seat at the table. They gave me opportunity, man. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, there's so many. I see it a lot of with these young kids, man. They want all these, you know, sponsorships. They want all this for them. You know what I mean? The clout. But what's the footwork are you doing? You know what I mean? For me, bro, I took a season of my life for like 2 years. I paid for my own flights to go to almost every show that they were going to just to go serve at the booth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I didn't know where I fit yet. Because I didn't want to do the traditional haircut tutorials. I wanted to be me.
Yeah.
But being me, how do I implement the motivating? How do I implement my story into this? You know what I mean? How do I do that? And so until I figured that out, I just served. You know what I mean?
That's good.
That's it. I just served.
That's fire, bro.
And the opportunity came. Opportunity came to start hosting, and hosting turned into educating. So now, I just got done doing 8 cities in 10 weeks, man. You know.
Younger City Yacht Club, my dog out there, city to city. I'm seeing you too, bro. Mm-hmm. And you did the NCAA championship.
Yo, it's crazy, man. Like I said, the power of social media.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It shouldn't be the only way, but it is a way, right?
Right.
So just by posting my work, and then maintaining friendships, true friendships, man. One of my old high school teammates lives in Cali. Was going to a barber that just so happened to be from our same city, Polk County. And he actually was the event coordinator. Shout out to T the Barber. T the Barber was actually the guy that the NCAA contracted to find barbers to cut for the national championship game.
Wow.
And so my partner sitting in this chair like, yo, I think you need to check out my guy back in Tampa. He goes to my Instagram, likes my work, shoots me the invite like, yo, listen. The first year was like, yo, get your flight out here. We'll take care of the rest. I'm like, bro, what? Say less. Say less. So my first year it was the year before COVID. I cut Alabama and Clemson. So I cut Clemson.
Okay.
I was one of like 6 barbers that cut Clemson. That was dope. The following year was supposed to be Miami, but COVID.
Yeah.
All right, so we didn't do that year. Then the following year was Georgia
and Alabama.
Georgia and Alabama. I cut Georgia.
Yeah, that was a crazy game too.
Yeah,
Alabama,
crazy game.
They missed. It was at the end. Like,
yeah, the very end. Alabama came back at the end.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
No,
Georgia.
Georgia came back at the end and won it all. Yeah, man. And so then the following year, building that relationship with T invited me back again, and I was able to cut Georgia again last year.
Yeah,
I mean, so
that's crazy.
And what was dope about that experience, like, since you brought it up, is that I actually cut Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't even know
his quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, man. Shout out. Yeah.
NCAA champion, dog.
Yeah, now he's with the Rams now, man. So I cut his hair, and little did I know the Georgia fan base had made like an alter ego when he got a haircut because, I guess he only got a fade but so many times in his career, but every time he got a fade, I guess he balled out. Yeah. So they called this man Stinkquavius. Instead of Stetson, Stinkquavius, bro. Because I literally just went to the cut and left. So I came in, I cut their hair. I didn't even stay for the game.
Oh, wow.
So I actually flew out. I flew out the night of the game. I flew out. So, L.A., Florida's a little.
Yeah.
So I landed at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and I'm driving home. And next thing you know, my phone started dinging. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Sure enough, bro. Sports Illustrated came out with an article because someone took a picture of me cutting his hair. So I came out on the Sports Illustrated. Georgia posted me on there. I mean, it was just crazy because it went wild because Stinkquavius.
Stinkquavius.
You know what I mean? And then, lo and behold, he had a great game.
Yeah.
So it just
Stinkquavius did it.
Hey, Stinkquavius did it. Hey, listen, man, at the end of the day, shout out to him for the opportunity, man. Shout out to T the Barber, man. It's just, you never know.
You laced that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boy looking fresh.
I just do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, look, all right. So here's the thing, right? So you getting, and I don't want to go too crazy because it's been a great interview though.
Yeah.
Bro. It's an amazing story. You started getting into these different things, but in Younger City Yacht Club, a lot of people, and with your story that you said, they see you at the games. They see you speaking and motivating the people. They've seen you, on the yacht. They've seen you city to city, but they don't actually know the journey it takes to get there. The waters, the tide, the waves you got to fight to get to that ship, treading water. If you could give person, that at that pivotal moment, a piece of advice.
I'm going to get a sip of water. I know.
One gem from Youngest in the Yacht Club from Nathan Galan. One gem to somebody listening. What would it be?
One gem. Man, it's gonna sound so cliche, but it's like one that for me personally, I just can't stop living by. Man, it's like never give up. Never give up, man. Never give up, because you never know what God's plan is for you. You know what I mean? I never fully understood that. I think a lot of times we ask God why, and I think that's the wrong question. For me personally, I felt as though that was the wrong question. If you want the right answers, you got to start asking the right questions.
Amen.
Right? So for me, I stopped asking God why, and I started praying for understanding. You know what I mean? And so when I started doing that, and it started coming more at peace for whatever had happened to me, whether it was in childhood, whether it was in young adulthood, whether it was in adulthood period, is one of those things that once I started continuing my prayers to lean towards that, and the more I got tapped into my faith, man, to be real with you, the more I got grounded. You know what I mean? My life started elevating because it became less of me, more of him. You know what I mean? Shout out to my fiance, soon-to-be wife.
I was just about to say, I heard you just got engaged.
Yeah, man. So shout out to her, man, because honestly, man, I've always was raised in the church, man, but to be real with you, sometimes just because you in the church doesn't mean you don't get overwhelmed by the church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God never asks for religion. God asks for relationship. And the more I started understanding that, man, it just changed my life, man, for real, man, because of my fiance, she led me back into the Bible, but she led me in the direction of a Bible that I could understand, in the language I could understand. Shout out to Joyce Meyer. Beginner's Bible. You know what I mean? Yes.
Joyce Meyer.
Hey, Joyce Meyer's a real one.
I used to watch Joyce Meyer.
Hey, I didn't know nothing of her.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing of her until I met my fiance, man, but I got back into my word. That's something that's a part of our routine. And how does it tie into never give up, man? Because God never gave up on me.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
So you can't give up on yourself.
I can't give up on myself. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I didn't know any other way other than that way. And once I started tapping into that way, everything else started making sense. And still, to this day, you know what I mean? Life can hit you with curveballs, man, but life is going to be lifing. You know what I mean? It's always going to do that.
Lifing.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? So with that being said, is just never give up, man. Know why you doing things, man.
That's fire.
You know what I mean?
Bro, you done came a long way, Nate, man. I appreciate you being on the show, dog. Bro, I need you to give these people your contact info. Plug.
Yes, check this out, man. Hey, you can find me on Instagram, Nate Motivates. You can find me on YouTube, man. Subscribe, hit the like button, share with other people on Nate Motivates. Nathan Galan on Facebook. But yeah, man.
Bro, what is your message to people?
My message?
Your message.
I mean, my message for people, I mean, you can see it on my shirt, man. This is my brand. I grind different. For me, to me, you just got to have that mentality. It's more than a brand, it's a mentality. That's the slogan of the company. And
I grind different.
Yeah, I grind different. You know what I mean? More than a brand, it's a mentality, man. Because for me, it's whatever it is that you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're in teaching. It doesn't matter if, shout out to my teachers. I wasn't, down talking them, just down talking the appreciation of them. And so it doesn't matter if you're in teaching, construction, media, real estate. It doesn't matter, man. You approach it that you grind different. You know what I mean? Think of it, whatever you can do. You control the you. You know what I mean? You control the you, so you got to sprinkle whatever different looks like. For me, it was showing up early, staying late, sacrificing, fun for a season of my life so I could have fun for the rest of my life.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So
I grind different.
Yeah, man.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all check Nate out. Yo, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe this episode of Youngest in the Yacht Club, because this one hit different.
Yeah, this one be a banger, man. That was the whole point. Hey, listen, man, shout out to Vince, man. Vince, man, I appreciate you, man. I love to see your growth, man.
Thank you.
Shout out to the Youngest in the Yacht Club. All you guys follow, man. Share, like, subscribe to all that, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate you, man.
All love.
Yeah, man.